5. All right, so now last time we went over long division, would you guys like to learn a shortcut?
Yeah.
Okay. Our shortcut is called synthetic division. Okay. Some rules. It only works with degree 1. Okay. And number 2, we expect a 1 as the coefficient. Although there is a way around that. Okay? Now, what I'd like to do, I think, is I'd like to show you long division, and then I'd like to show you synthetic division. And so here's what I'm going to do. Let's say, here I'm going to show you the regular long division. Let's say I wanted to do 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 5, and I want to divide that by x minus 3. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a big gap there. Okay? Now, I could write this as plus 0x, right? Normally we wouldn't do that, but you're going to need to do that for your synthetic division. Okay? So, Ryan, do you remember how to do this? Regular long division?
Yeah.
Okay, x times what is 2x cubed?
2x squared.
2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times negative 3.
Negative 6.
Negative 6x squared. Okay, now we'll change our signs. Okay, that's going to go away. Negative 7x plus 6, negative 7x squared plus 6x squared is negative x squared. Okay, does x go into negative x squared?
Negative x.
Negative x times that is negative x squared. Negative x times negative 3 is positive 3x. Now we will change our signs. Okay, and you'll see why I added that there. That's going to go away. 0x minus 3x.
Which is the same negative 3x.
Negative 3x. Does x go into negative 3x?
Yeah.
Negative 3 times.
Yeah.
Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3.
Negative 9.
Positive 9.
Positive 9, right.
Okay. Then we're going to change our sign, which will make it a negative. That's going to go away. 5 minus 9
Is negative.
Negative 4. Does x go into negative 4?
No.
No, so that's my remainder. So I write
Negative 4 over x minus 3.
x minus 3. Okay. So here's how we're going to do synthetic division. Okay, you've got you could think of this kind of as we're factoring that out. Okay, whatever this number is, you're going to pick the opposite sign. Okay, so I'm going to put a little box here. I'm going to put a positive 3 there. Okay, and then I'm going to write the coefficients here, 2, negative 7, and then I'm going to put a 0 here. Okay, now I want you all to say, I will never ever forget to put the 0 in. Okay? Okay, this is on video. You've all got your hands raised. Okay? All right. So, and then we're going to do the 5. Okay? Now, I'm just going to tell you that is the most common mistake. You've all promised me that you'll never make that mistake, especially on the test, right? Okay? Don't ever forget that. It's really easy to forget, okay? All right, so now the idea here, I'll call this step A, we're going to add down, and then step B is we're going to multiply. Okay? And hopefully we'll get the same answer here, okay? So the nice thing about synthetic division, it takes less paper, okay? So you'll see all that big thing here. Okay, so we're going to add down. 2 and 0 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 7 plus 6 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3.
It's -1.
-1, thank you. 3 times -1 is -3. -3. -3 times 3 is -9, and that gives me a -4. Okay? So what you'll notice here is all of these coefficients match what you've got here. So because I started with an x cubed term, I'm just going to go down. This is going to become 2x squared minus x minus 3 plus, that becomes my remainder, -4 over x minus 3. And you'll see that that is exactly the same as that. Pretty cool, huh? Who besides Jeffrey likes the synthetic division? Okay? It's way easier. Now, just one rule, it only works with degree of 1. So if I had x squared minus 3, can't do synthetic division. Okay? Have to do long division. What if I had 2x minus 3? Can I do it? You can, but you have to get a 1 here. If I were to solve this, I could redo this as x minus 3 halves, basically kind of factoring out a 2 out of both, okay? And so, yes, you could do that. You could put a 3 halves here, although most of you probably aren't going to like fractions, but you're probably going to get stuck with some, okay? So yes, you can do it in this case because it has degree 1, but you need to change it a little bit. Does that make sense? Okay? But this, once again, sorry, Charlie, long division. You have to do long division on that. So we need to know both methods. Okay? All right. So do you want to do another one just to make sure you guys are awesome at this?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna kick butt on my quiz tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. So let's say let's just do one from last time then. How about, what if I said, I want you to do 6x squared minus 26x plus 12 divided by x minus 4. And I want you to use synthetic division. Kakana, can you do that?
No.
No, but you're gonna. I'm gonna help you, and then you'll be like, yes,
Yeah.
gonna ace this. Gonna kick butt on the quiz tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the opposite sign of my divisor here? Oh, you guys aren't telling me that I'm off the screen. What kind of camera are you? It's kind of dark too. I should do that. That'd probably help. So do I put a -4 or a +4?
No,
+4. +4 in my box. And what are my coefficients?
6, -26, and then 12.
12. Okay. Now we're gonna
So 6 minus 0 is
add down and multiply. Okay. So 6 and 0 is
6,
6. 6 times 4,
24
24. -26 plus 24,
is -2,
-2 times 4,
-8,
12 minus 8,
4.
4. So this becomes what?
I forgot what we put.
Okay, we started right here, so we always go down 1 degree.
The x.
6x
And then this one -2.
minus 2 plus, this is your remainder. Your remainder is 4 divided by
6x squared, or
x minus 4. That's your divisor, right? Okay? Lauren, you have a question?
Can you just go a little bit slower on the add down and multiply really quick? I just don't understand what you're doing.
Okay. Do you want me to erase this and do it again?
No, it's just-
So 6 and 0 is, now I'm going to multiply 6 times 4, it's 24. Okay? All right, so now let me give you a couple of theorems. That red's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Let's pick a different color. Couple of theorems. we have here the remainder theorem. Okay? So the remainder theorem says if polynomial p of x is divided by x minus c, then the remainder is p of c. All right, so another thing that we could say is, what if I wanted to say, okay, I want you to divide these two things, and I want you just to tell me what the remainder is, okay? Three ways you can do the remainder. You can do long division, which we did over here. You could do synthetic division, or in this case, if this is your C, if 4 is your C, I could also find P of C. So P of C is what, Eunice?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
So if this is P, we're going to call this P of X. I want you to find P of C. Now I'm going to tell you what the answer is before you even do it. You know what the answer is? It's 4. Okay? So this is another way just to find the remainder. Okay? So what's P of 4? P of 4 in this case.
So is it x times
6 times what?
times
4
4
squared minus 26 times 4. Sorry, I'm using the red. Plus 12, right? 4 squared is 16 times 4, 16 times 6. 26. Okay. 26 times 4. 104 plus 12. 96 minus 104. Negative 8 plus 12 equals 4, just like I said. Okay? Pretty cool, huh? Cameron?
When solving for P of C, and you're taking that 4, you never take the sign in front of it, or you do the opposite of what its sign is.
Okay, so here's what we're thinking of. We're trying to decide if this is a factor, and if it was a factor, x minus 4 would equal 0, so therefore x would equal 4. So that's why the sign is always opposite.
Okay.
If I have an x plus 4, if I set that equals 0, x would equal negative 4, right?
Gotcha.
So that's why it's the opposite. Okay. So the idea behind all of this, we're going to use this remainder theorem and the factor theorem and synthetic division to factor stuff. Okay? So that's kind of where we're headed. Now, there's another theorem that I'll show you here real quick. And that is the factor theorem, which is very similar. In fact, I kind of just told it to you. C is a 0 of polynomial function of P, sorry. And then I'm going to show you this abbreviation. IFF stands for if and only if and only if x minus c is a factor of P of x. Okay? So that's kind of what I just said. If you get a remainder of 0, then x minus c is a factor. Okay? Let's do a quick example here. Let's say that P of x equals x cubed minus 7x plus 6. And I want you to show P of 1 equals 0 and use to factor P of X. Okay? So, Sydney, I think it must be your turn. Can you show me that P of 1 equals 0? Oh, well, it's a good thing I picked on you because tomorrow you're going to ace the quiz. Okay, what's P of 1? Uh-huh. 1 cubed minus 7 times 1 plus 6. 1 cubed is 1. 7 times 1. So 1 minus 7 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 6 equals 0. Okay, so I got a remainder of 0. Isn't that nice? So what that means is, okay, if 1 is a 0, what's the factor? I'm going to divide this by, if P of 1 is 0, how would you write that as a factor? If P of 1 equals 0, how would you write that as a factor? It's just like I was explaining to Cameron over here. Do you know, Cameron?
Is that X minus 1?
Yes, so we're going to divide this by X minus 1. Okay? And we know already that the remainder is going to be 0, and so that's cool. Okay? So, Nathan, would you like to do synthetic division or long division? Synthetic division. So what am I going to put in my box? 1. What are my coefficients?
1, negative 7.
Oh, you said negative 7. You promised me you weren't going to forget. What's my x squared term?
Oh, okay, yeah. But you didn't put it in as 0.
I know. I'm going to do that on the test too. So you got to remember, you promised me you weren't going to forget.
All right, I'll remember. Okay, 0.
0.
Negative 7.
Negative 7. 6. Okay. Now what?
Bring the 1 down.
1 times 1?
Is 1.
0 and 1?
1.
1 times 1?
1.
Negative 7 plus 1?
Negative 6.
Negative 6 times 1?
6.
Negative 6. 0, just like we said. We got our 0 remainder. So this represents what? So we started with an x cubed term, so this becomes
X squared.
x squared plus x minus 6. Okay, so essentially, here, I'm going to move over here because it'll be easier to see. So essentially what we've done is we've factored that such that the one factor is x minus 1 according to the remainder theorem, x minus 1, and we're left with x squared plus x minus 6, right? I'm off camera still. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Can you factor that, Riley? Can you factor that? You can't? There you can. Let me help you, Riley. What are your factors of x squared? X and x, right? What are your factors of 6? 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. Which one do you think would be better to give you a 1 in the middle? The 3 and the 2? I'll bring my x minus 1 down. Now, is it a plus and a minus and a plus and a plus, or a minus and a minus? A plus and a minus. Plus 3 minus 2 is plus 1. Positive times a negative is a negative. Okay? So now we've taken that whole big thing there, we've just factored it. My zeros are where? Zach?
1.
1. X equals 1 with a multiplicity of? X equals negative multiplicity of 1. 2 multiplicity of 1. And if we were to graph that, I've got 1, 1, 2, 3, and 2. Okay, what's my power function? Y equals x cubed, right? And so it's going to start high or low? Low. It's going to come up to 3, and it's going to cross. It's going to come to 1, and it's going to cross, and it's going to come to 2, and it's going to cross. Look at that. You guys are going to be awesome factors when I get done with you. Okay? Quiz tomorrow is on 3.3. See y'all tomorrow.